Welcome back, Know-It-Alls. Thanks for listening to the show. And as always, give us some feedback about what we are doing so we can make sure you're having a good time listening to us.
Hey, everybody, we're back with another episode.
Episode 11? No, 23? 74? I have no idea. Lost track.
60. I don't know. It's episode 69.
It's always episode 69.
Except not with Mr. Clay and Charlie Ray.
Why not? Why not?
Man.
What have you got to lose?
Yeah. What do you got to lose, right? It's kind of a funny story. Well, it's kind of a funny story. You ask some people, and you go, what do you think about a penis? And they're like, ew, penis. And I'm like, I hope everybody loves penis. I mean, you internalize that. If you think penises are gross, you have a penis. How can you be like, hey, I hope she loves the hell out of my penis? Or whomever loves it. Doesn't matter if it's male, female, or undecided or whatever.
What if it was yourself? Like you traveled back in time or ahead of time and you confronted yourself and you're like, okay, I'm only going to get like 15 more minutes. How about we just suck each other off? Like, is that gay? Because you touch yourself when you masturbate, right? Essentially,
usually.
Not
anymore. Not anymore.
You don't need to, but I still touch myself when I masturbate. And if I have somebody else doing it for me, it's going to feel better. But if it's just me doing it to myself, like my future self or my past self, it's not gay, is it?
I don't know. I'm kind of afraid of like that singularity. Like, how they say don't interact with the past or the future.
Yeah.
If you touch yourself, you might cause like a black hole to like open in the universe and like time and tear in space or something.
But would it not be the best head you ever got? Because you know exactly what you like. There's no discussing it. There's no like, hey, how about you do this? I'll move this faster, move this way, grab this, stroke that, put your finger here. You're just doing it. You're doing it all, and you know what you like.
I'm not sure because both the future, well, maybe, who knows? Maybe the future me might like penis. I don't know, but this one does not really.
Oh.
So it's not really my thing. But in some cultures they believe as long as you're the receiver and not the giver, it doesn't make. Hold on, no. If you're the receiver, it makes you gay. But if you're the giver, it doesn't. That's kind of weird.
But it's yourself. It shouldn't even be like a gay or straight thing. Because you touch your own dick when you masturbate, and that's not gay. But you're touching a dick.
That's true. Yeah, that would really mess some people up if you did consider touching yourself gay. If you're touching a penis, because man, that would just make every guy gay.
Oh well.
So but anyway, where were we going with this?
You were talking about not needing to touch yourself.
Yes. So
gain pleasure.
So for some of you that aren't aware or don't know the whole story, and have we really talked about the whole tantra stuff? We already did that once. So did we just do it? Offline?
You teased about it, like you did a tease, okay. But we went into the sex parties and the swinging lifestyle, but we didn't.
Right. Okay.
We didn't talk tantric. I know that when I first, when you were talking about it, I didn't understand much. But then when you were in Estonia and you're like, hey, come out for a week, right? I'm out here for a couple of weeks taking this course, and I was like, fuck, I love Estonia. I've been there once before. Beautiful. If I got a free place to stay, fuck yeah, I'll fly out. So during the day you were in class and I didn't really know what you were doing. And I'm just like wandering around the city, and then I sit down for dinner with you and some of your classmates, and you guys are talking about like doing a bouquet out of like testicles and shit. And I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about? And like, oh man, I had like 8 orgasms. I'm like, you had 8 orgasms in class. So are you guys like touching each other's like junk or vagina? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's a class like? Let's say there's 10 people in it?
Well, I've done a couple different courses, but we'll talk about the one that I was doing in Estonia. So when you came out, it was during the second part of the teaching course when I was in. So the first like 10 days did the part of the course where we learned how to do some different massage work. We got our therapist certification. And so basically at that point, at least as far as that school considers it, we were certified to give that type of massage that we were trained in, which was a tantra massage, and that's it, but not teach it, just to do it, just like being like, somebody hires you, you give them a massage kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Or you can, obviously massage your lover or whatever, also. So anyway, when you first came out, I can't remember, was it when I was having a break in between the courses, or did you come out?
I think I was there for like your last 2 days of your break. I think I was only there for like 5 days.
That's right, because the break was only part of it, and then I was back in the classes while you were still there.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think
my break was only a couple of days, right? Okay.
Yeah, but when I first got there, you were on a break because you're able to come grab me at the airport and stuff, and yeah,
exactly. Okay, so when you came out, we were just starting the teacher part of my training, which is an additional like 20 days, and so there's 23 of us because one person had to drop out, so we were unbalanced by one person because they try to keep it so that it's an even amount of men, an even amount, with women. Because because when you're working with people and the energy, and you do different types of massages, they wanted it gender balanced, right? Well, one of the guys had to drop out due to a family emergency, so we had one extra woman. So there's 23 people total, and so the teaching portion of it was we continued on with what we'd learned in the therapist part, but now we were basically just studying more about how to tell others how to do it, how to develop and give like the basic like level 1 type of tantra massage for couples that you work with, right? So we were still doing the massage work on each other during the training, but basically you're doing a lot of days where it's like, okay, this session, Charles is going to teach this session, and he's going to just demonstrate the portion like the back and the arms, or the or the legs or whatever, because you had like it's kind of broken into sections, and so we break it into sections as far as the teaching goes. So that way, you'd have different sessions where you teach different parts of the body, but also that you can teach the whole thing when you're doing it all, for your own class, right? But as part of the training, like I said, during the first part, we were taught this whole ritual tantra massage, which includes genital massage for both men and women. And
so do you have to, when you're in your courses and when you're taking your class, do you touch male genitals when they're training you and female genitals, or are they like, because they want the class balanced, right?
They want the class balanced. As far as they do it, they basically teach, they have men work with women work with men. However, though, women will work with women, but they don't really have men work with men, which that's their thing. They say it's a gender polarity, this and that. But there was a couple of times that a couple of men, I think, did work with each other just to be able to do it. And since I consider this therapeutic work, I don't really have the same viewpoint toward that, because it's like medical work to me. I mean, this is therapeutic work as far as working with somebody to help them work through energy issues, to work through blockages and things like that. That being said, I have not worked directly with another man, so
that's why when you gave me that massage, it didn't feel so good.
Yeah,
I was hoping to get that bouquet, but I never really got that at all. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I was promised a bouquet of my balls and dick, but negative.
Bouquet technique is really an interesting one. Yes, it is. But basically, you know what it is. I told you what it was.
Yeah, but it's just like I essentially I see my dick and balls as a bouquet of flowers.
Basically, yeah. I mean, you just you pull them up and you stretch them and you do this, and then it's like, ta-da.
See, I don't think I want any part of that. I don't want people stretching my nuts in any shape or form.
You've never seen that puppetry of the penis out of
I haven't.
I think it's Australia. You need to watch that. Those guys are amazing. They can make like dragons and butterflies and I don't know, all kinds of things out of their junk. More stuff than I would ever do to myself. But anyway, I'm kind of losing train of thought. So so this is physical, hands-on work. It's with the goal and the eventual point to where you get good enough, which I'm still in a journeyman phase really at this point, that you can just work with energy, or you can work with somebody even remotely, like from thousands of miles away. It's possible. Now, I'm nowhere near the level of being able to do that kind of stuff. But as part of it, the previous class I'd taken, which was back in 2016, and we'll get into this further in another podcast as far as my tantra massage journey, but I really just wanted to talk about this because of an experience I had this last week, which I'll get to in just a minute. But we practiced this thing that was called the big draw. And this was taught during the course with Denisa and Richard. And I would butcher their last names, so I won't even try, but they're in the Czech Republic. And they had this course. They teach a core touch course also, which is more advanced than the sensual massage course that I took. And he taught this technique called the big draw that involves breathing while either you don't have to, but you can touch yourself, or someone else can be touching you while you do this breathing technique. And doing this breathing technique as well as the touch, you moving your energy, that it can lead to a full body orgasm with no ejaculation.
And did you believe that when you were
beforehand?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Of course, I didn't also believe that such a thing as a prostate massage orgasm was possible either, but I'd experienced that for the first time ever when I was 42 with my ex-wife in another class that we'd taken together. And I was like, wow, okay, well, that apparently is true. And it's unbelievable, which also is something I didn't believe was truly possible, but found out that it is, and it's amazing. That is also something that I'll go into, well, maybe not in depth, so to speak, but I'll explain.
We'll do a video of it. A close-up video.
But I'll explain how that was one of the things that led me on the journey to where I am now.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I didn't believe it was possible. So he's telling us, we're learning this technique, and so the first time we do it, we do a session in the class to where we're doing this stuff, and we're basically, we're touching ourselves, and not like in a, like, I'm trying to get there kind of like masturbatory kind of thing, just kind of like a, hi, how you doing kind of thing, getting to know yourself.
So this is also odd to me. I can't imagine sitting in a classroom full of people and everybody's like, all right. How teachers are like, okay, everybody take out your pens and pencils, your books. They're like, okay, everybody
take out your dick,
take out your penis, your testicles, your
yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, and so yeah, it's weird enough being in a room sometimes. I mean, I've never been in a room with 80 naked people of both genders either before. So anyway, so we do the session when we're first learning how to do this. Doesn't really do much for me. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, whatever. Okay, this is whatever, and so then we do it like the next day. We have a partner. And so I had a woman there that I worked with, and it was okay. I had a small kind of orgasmic experience. Again, just a full body type of situation. Well, not again, it's for me, this was the first one.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, that's different. However, it was a very emotional one for me because I had some issues I was working through that kind of came up mentally for me when this was happening. So, but not to go into that too much, but basically I just finalized my divorce about a month and a half before that. And this was a very emotional situation, having this kind of experience with somebody new. And the fact that because I'd been separated for like a certain period of time, I just never had anybody who had been touching me that way in a long time, we'll just say. So it was a very emotional situation. So I was like, okay, well, this is different. Not sure how I feel about it, but it felt pretty good. And okay, I'm cool. This is a new experience. So, we still had many days left of that class, and throughout the class, we had other opportunities to where we practiced with other people and did massage work, and we do the big draw. At least the men would do the big draw at the end, and they could have this energy orgasm experience. And so I didn't really have a whole lot more opportunities to practice that. And then toward the end of the class, we had a session to where we were teamed into teams of 3. And so I ended up with 2 women and myself, which there were some people who got 2 guys and a girl. So that was interesting. Again, not sure how comfortable I was with that at that point in my life. At this point, I had 2 women and myself. And so for the first time, and the whole time I'd been there, I got a 4-handed massage, basically. So when I was getting my massage, I was being touched by 2 people. And so during that massage, when we got to the end and I did this big draw technique, I actually had a couple of really strong orgasm experiences. I don't know how I want to say, but basically, yeah, I had some pretty, I had stronger ones, and I was like, wow, okay, this is.
So these are no ejaculation.
No
orgasms.
ejaculation at all. Not even really hard. Not just soft. Just they're just, it's, you're getting a massage, and it's a sensual massage. So it's not like, it's I mean, you can say it's sexual because it's sexual energy it's being worked with, but it's not the same as being in a situation like if you're in a threesome in the bedroom with two women and you're having sex. It's an entirely different situation than being in a sensual tantric massage type of, possibly, some would call it tantric, some wouldn't, some would just call it sensual massage, but basically it's totally not this whole sexual vibe. It's just this whole energy vibe and pleasure, but without this sexual overtone to it. Okay. But still very, very orgasmic experience. And it's more of like a loving and caring environment. It's almost like getting a active cuddle. But it's like a mixture of like being like a almost like the energy of being cuddled mixed with a massage. I mean, so it's not like when you get a massage, you get this hardcore heavy duty massage, like a sports massage, nothing like that. And obviously cuddling's pretty passive, so it's not really like that. It's just the energy and the positivity and the love and everything. It's just all mixed in there together, right? And the care. I mean, it's not necessarily love because, you may or may not be doing this with a lover, in which case it would be more so. But in this case, just with somebody that on a professional level that cares about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So from there, we went on to an experience that I've shared with you before, and I will do it more in depth for this podcast, talk about it. We went to our final session of that teaching, right? So that was when I had the experience that I will never forget. So we went to the day before, the last day before we went home of this course. And we picked a partner. I have a lovely young partner. I won't mention her name since she's doesn't need to have her name put on here. I don't think she'd mind, but I just don't have her consent. So, but this lovely young lady, mid-20s, beautiful, amazing, wonderful inner spirit. She works with animals in the past, and she's a dancer, just beautiful inside and out. And so I'd worked with her once before in the 2 weeks. We'd had a time where I'd given her a massage. It was the first time that I'd given the massage after I was taught the whole massage components. And that wasn't the greatest massage, obviously being my first, but she was very, giving, gave me a lot of notes, helped me to get through it, from being nervous. And so it was nice that I could do this final massage with her to kind of contrast from where I was, when I started and like 6 days later. Right. So I gave her a massage. It went really well. I think she was happy, from what I could see. And then it came time for my massage. So we took a break, we showered, cleaned up, came back, and the second session for the final basically started. And so she, so you start out, you're on your stomach. She starts off, you start off having your back massage and your legs. I mean, it's basically a complete full body massage.
And how long does that go for?
Well, the whole massage in my case lasted about 3 hours.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the last hour was the more intimate part, right? So as far as our teacher is considered, when we were being taught, you should not touch the genitals for a minimum of an hour and a half. So at least an hour and a half.
Nobody tells me how long to stay away from genitals. Nobody. Well, my genitals.
Especially yours. Yeah. So she's giving me a massage. It's feeling great. I told her that I like the feeling of nails. So she was doing some light scratching on my back, which was very erotic. Oh man, I love the feeling of nails on my back. Not like ripping your flesh out kind of nails, but just lightly, a little bit of scratching, you know what I mean? And so that was feeling really good. And then this is the part where it gets interesting. All of a sudden, and this was something that we were demonstrated earlier in the week, but I'd never had it happen in any of my sessions.
But it happened to other people in the class?
Yes, happened with other people. Yeah, but I'd never had it happen because I never really had too many of the times where I had two people giving me a massage. And it did happen a little bit, but not to the extent that it did in the final massage that I had we were taught some warrior touching, like between men type of touching in one of our sessions. It was like they broke us into a women only class and a men only class. Yeah. And they were talking about how men touch each other like the more tribal ways. Like, so like when men are just like, like jumping around fires and stuff and like smacking each other on the back and pounding each other's chests and we're men, and you're a man and I'm a man and all that kind of stuff. Right. And it's supposed to bring out this masculine warrior energy.
You just made me want to go work on my car. There.
I'm gonna hunt a moose and jack up a Camaro.
Yeah, that's right. Barehanded, knife.
Exactly.
Who needs a gun?
Just mount on the car. Hit it with the car. I go hunting with the car.
You don't want to do that.
The moose would take out the car.
Well, you'd hit right through the moose's legs, right? They're tall and skinny, and then the body would smash into your windshield.
Oh yeah,
it would crush you.
Oh, he'd be dead. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, part of the massage stuff that we were taught so all the massaging and touching she's doing is waking up your sexual energy, right? So believe me, let me tell you, having a woman basically barely dressed giving you a wonderful massage and doing erotic things to you is obviously raises your sexual energy quite a bit.
And so it should.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that you had 40 other couples in the same room at the same time doing the same thing with you. So there's all this sexual energy that's just in this room. It was hilarious because it was like in November and they had to have the windows like open because there was so much heat being generated in that room. It was crazy. I mean, it's like middle of November in Czech Republic. And the windows are like open because it was just like 90 degrees in there from all the sexual heat coming off of that room. And we won't even get into the how it sounded later in the room. But so anyway, I'm getting a massage. It's feeling great. I'm having a really good state of mind. I'm feeling very relaxed. All of a sudden, smack on my back, right? Like two hands right in the middle of like my shoulder blade type of area, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't her. She's still giving me a massage. It was somebody else. Somebody else that came beside her and laid their hands on me. Now, this was part of the warrior touch type technique stuff. And, it was like getting hit. I'm sure it's nothing like really getting hit by a defibrillator, but that's the only way I can kind of compare it to like that sudden shock of being smacked in the middle of like, you're like, this is so beautiful and so relaxing. Smack, I mean, and I kind of like shot up, up off the blankets and stuff I was on. It was just like this shock, just like mixed with all this pleasure. And then this like sudden, it was kind of pain, but it was just this sudden shock. It was just exhilarating. And first I was kind of like, is that a man or a woman doing that? Later I found out it was a man. And I thought about that for a second and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. And so I'm still getting massaged and they're still there and then smack again. So basically it became this whole, it didn't go on for very long, but it became this whole thing of never knowing when it's going to happen and that anticipation of when it's going to happen or not happen. So I'm getting touched and nails and, this is feeling great. Then smack. And you never know when it's going to happen. Right. And it's just like,
it's a scary movie.
Well, it does, but here's the thing that it taught me, because me, I'm always analytical. I thought about it and I'm like, this must be a little bit of what it's like being a submissive who likes to be spanked. Now, I wasn't being spanked, but I was receiving pain, but it felt good. It wasn't like pain, but I mean, getting smacked pretty hard is, you still get a little bit of a sting.
Yeah.
It's
more of a shock than a pain.
Yeah, exactly. So you're in this sensual state of mind and you're mixing it with this like little bit of pain, little bit of shock, whatever. And it really took me into this further, I don't know if I would really call it like a kind of subspace, but it took me into this whole altered state of mind. Right. So my sexual energy is flowing. And so they go away. And so I'm just left with my partner. And so I turn over and she starts massaging my front. Now, I don't mean down there, at least not yet, but, like my head and shoulders and everything. So she works her way down my body. And again, you got to understand, this has been at least almost 2 hours at this point. Okay. Probably about an hour and 40 minutes. Okay. And so we get to the point to where we get to the more intimate portion of the massage. So she starts lightly touching me. Again, this is not trying to get you to ejaculate like a sexual situation. This is sensual, right? So just light touching and stroking, and as you could say, it's almost like, like appreciating you as a man. I mean, that's what it's like. It's like just enjoying the touching of you, and you enjoy it, and they're enjoying what they're doing, and it's just like this beautiful feeling. It's like they're like, appreciating that they love that you're a man, and you appreciate being touched as a man, right? And so as part of this, I'm doing these breathing exercises, which consists of this breathing technique with deep breaths and pulling your energy in, and basically pulling it down to your groin, down to your penis and your penis, and pulling it up, and then at a certain point, as she's touching you, whenever you decide, you can say, I think I want to go ahead and try the big draw and see if I can have an energy orgasm, right? And so when I started feeling about right, I said, hey, and I said her name to her, and I said, hey, look, I said, I think I'm ready. Let's try the deeper part of the breathing and the more intensity with it, and let's see what happens. She said, okay. So she's still touching me. I start doing deeper breathing, a little bit faster, and you do about 5 or 6 of these, and on your last one, when you pull it in, you hold your breath, you're pulling energy down to your penis, and you hold it as long as possible, basically, and then you release it.
There.
And you release the air. Okay. Your breath, right? Yeah, you release your breath, and if things have gone well with all the buildup and everything else, at that point, you could have a full body orgasmic experience. Now, at that point, I'd had a few during the week, but none of them would I'd say were like mind-boggling, wow. I mean, they were good. I'm not saying they weren't good. Any kind of orgasmic experience is usually at least somewhat good. Kind of like, is there such a thing as a bad orgasm?
I don't think so.
Maybe if his name's Bubba and you're in jail, and so anyway, so I did that, and I had the most, at that point, I had the most intense full body orgasmic experience I've ever had in my life to that point. And it, just locking up the body, it was probably 20 to 30, 10. Well, I mean, God, you can't, it's kind of hard to judge time when you're in the middle of an orgasm, but it was way longer. It was way longer than a normal orgasm was, the regular way. Right. And so it was amazing, super intense, all over. Like I was like locked up, like my body was just like all tense, and it was crazy. It was all over my body. And I was like, wow. I'm thinking, wow, that was amazing, So, after I calmed down, and she stopped, and I thought, okay, right, no big deal. It was a big deal, but I mean, I thought, okay, cool. I had an amazing orgasm. That was great. What a way to end this class. Tomorrow's the final day, and I'm laying there, and she starts touching me some more, and I'm like, oh, okay,
seconds.
I can try for 2.
Go back to the buffet. Let's do this.
That's right. And so, so we did, and I had an even more amazing orgasm. It was even more intense than the first one. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is unbelievable. I didn't know this much pleasure was possible as a male. So long story short, we did it a third time, and I was like, okay, well, we can do a third. And the whole time, what starts going through my mind by this point is the fact that I'm like, surely she must be tired. I mean, I feel like I'm like, I shouldn't be taking, I'm kind of like, do I deserve to have this many? I mean, she's doing a lot of work, whatever. And I look down, and she's just smiling like the cat that swallowed the canary. She is just having a blast. She is enjoying the fact that she is helping me do this, and that I'm having this amazing
don't
experience.
You get that same like pleasure?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When you pleasure somebody, you're like,
exactly,
that was me. I did that. That was me. I did that.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, well, she looks like she's having a good time. So I'm having a good time. And so we go and we do 4. And I'm thinking, okay, 4 is unbelievable. I'm feeling like I ran a mile around the track. I mean, I'm sweaty, I'm beat, my muscles are all clenching up and stuff. And
you fear walking down the stairs at the end of the class because you're not going to make it.
Yeah, like wobbly legs, like a deer that got shot, you know. And she kind of lays down next to me, and I'm thinking, okay, that's nice. She's just gonna lay next to me for a little bit, and we'll kind of relax and chill out. And this is the part that totally made it. She leans over in my ear and says, "Do you want to stop, or do you want to see how many you can have?" And that was like, man, green light, go, man, hit the friggin' gas pedal. I'm like, let's keep going. And so we did. And I really don't know if it was 8 or 9. I say 9, but it might have just been 8. All I know is
only 8.
Yeah. All I know is that every single one from that point forward got more and more intense. And the last one, I was literally jackknifed off the mattress like an L. I mean, my body was just so clenched up. It was so intense, and I swear it lasted at least 30 seconds to a minute long. I mean,
how many other people are in the class at the same time while this is happening to them?
Well, there's about 80. Well, there's about 70 to 80 people total. So there's like 40 couples,
and they're all partnered up, all making noises and twitching.
So all around you. So that only heightened how this felt while I was doing it. I mean, you think, oh, I'm gonna look. You're too busy with your own life to be worried about what everybody else is doing around you, really.
Yeah, but you can hear it.
I'm not
always
saying
a bonus.
I'm not saying I didn't get a few glimpses here and there, but you can hear them, and it's like this symphony of pleasure, and all you can hear is because some people did the women half the first, and some did the men. So basically, it's kind of a mixture of both for each session, and so all you can hear around you is like literally like almost it was like here in the wild we observe the wild orgasmic call of the striped gazelle. No, but I mean, all you could hear was every type of like potentially orgasmic sound you could hear. One woman sounded like she was being murdered. I mean, like just crazy screaming, moaning, crying, yelling, grunting. I mean, it was like the most primal thing I have ever heard, and that's saying a lot considering some of the situations I've been in with my other stories.
Yeah,
but there's
no cleanup in aisle 4 this way.
No. Well, I think some people had some cleanup on aisle 4 situations, but I did not. I was there to learn about energy, and so anyway, we basically stopped at 8, and I basically had to pull Roberto Duran, the No Mas. I had to throw in the towel because either I was going to die or I needed Gatorade or something. I mean, I was literally
electrolytes. Give me electrolytes. I
was literally drenched in sweat. My body wouldn't unclench. I was, having cramping. I mean, it was just, I'm just like, I can't handle this. I mean, my body, no guy's body who had only ever had like one orgasm really at a time can handle 8 in an hour. Okay,
that is not with that attitude. He can't.
I'm not. Mama didn't raise no quitter.
Step up your game, big boy pants. Let's do this. Or actually, big boy no pants. Let's do this.
Exactly. So that was an unbelievable experience. But to cap it off, later I was talking. So we all were staying kind of dorm style at this retreat. So there's like me and like 4 other dudes that were sharing a room. And, so everybody was sharing rooms. And my roommates were like, dude, we could hear you all the way across the room. I was like, how'd you know it was me? He says, because you're the only one who'd yell out, oh, fuck, every time you had an orgasm. And they said, we knew it was you because every time when you wake up in the morning, as soon as your feet hit the floor, you'd say, oh, fuck. I was like, yeah, well, it's one of my favorite words. And the other thing is that I told my teacher, we were, later on, like after that, we had dinner afterward. After this, we all cleaned up and showered, and we had dinner. And I was talking to my teacher, and I told him that I'd had the 9 orgasms, and he didn't believe me. He didn't think I could have that many. I mean, and I'm like, wow, okay, well, I know it's possible. You don't have to believe me. I know it's possible,
But isn't that like his job to make that possible?
Exactly. And honestly, I don't know, at least as far as any of the other guys in the class, if anybody had that many. I talked to several of the other guys. Most of them had 1, a few had 2. So apparently I was an overachiever for the class. And I don't mind that one bit.
Well, I think your partner was the overachiever.
Oh man, she was an all pro.
She wanted the gold medal.
She has a heart of gold, and she's beautiful to boot. I will say this: you will never forget the first person who gives you 9 orgasms in a massage session. How about that?
I'm looking forward to not forgetting whoever that person is in the future. So
exactly,
I might have to go take a tantric course in the Czech Republic and maybe Estonia. Who knows?
Yes, exactly. So that was my first experience with that, right? And so I'd had some times after I got back home with some other people here in the Midwest who've also trained with various tantra modalities. And this one lady here in town, we did a session where I gave her a massage. She gave me a massage. And so she gave me a massage in the techniques of the Estonia class. That's where she learned her stuff. And so their emphasis was a little bit different than the emphasis from the Czech Republic. It's much more energy related. It's much more about spiritual transmutation of energy, and it's not as sexual. But at the same time, the energy work still can cause a sexual reaction. So the difference was in the techniques is that with the one in the Czech Republic, it was more of like these massive peaks and valleys. Like, I come up and have a huge, amazing orgasmic experience, take a break, huge orgasmic experience. So it's like, like a wave.
Like an amazing roller coaster.
Yes, an amazing roller coaster. And then the one with when I got the massage from the lady who trained in Estonia, instead of having like this massive, huge peak, she got me up to like about a level of about a 7 or 8. Then she just kept me there, and I never dropped out of that state. So it was like and I had about 40 minutes where I was just right there at about a level 7 of an orgasmic experience. And it just never stopped. I never had this drop. And that was amazing too, in a totally different way. And I was like, okay, I want to learn that. I want to learn that. And so that's one of the reasons why I went to Estonia and the school there to learn those techniques. Now, all of this was all backstory to the reason why, the reason I wanted to tell you. So,
oh yeah, you can't stop talking about it.
No, I can't. I mean, man, let me tell you something. If you ever get to this point where you want to study this and you get into this, and this is just, you and anybody who might be listening, once you truly experience what's possible, it's like a Pringle, man. You just can't eat one. So, I didn't really do a whole lot of practice at home. I didn't really keep up on this, the big draw technique. I knew how to do it, and I've done yoga, and I've done, like hot yoga and stuff like that. So I've done a lot of breathing work and different things over the past 10 years. So I think that's helped me in a lot of ways with being able to move my energy around. And so I started recently in the last year, studying this guy from Europe called Wim Hof. WIM space HOF. Wim Hof is his name. He's Danish. He lives somewhere else now, but he does this thing. It's called the Wim Hof method, and it's about working with breathing and cold immersion. And like they call him the Iceman. And he does. He has this morning ritual where you do this breathing technique. It involves 4 rounds of deep breathing and holding your breath and techniques and stuff. Some of it very similar to what the big draw technique that I was taught is. And so I started doing this because I was already doing saunas because I fell in love with doing sauna work when we were in Estonia, and I loved the saunas up there. And so I did saunas a lot more at the gym, and I started doing cold showers. And I was getting to the point where I was doing like the coldest setting on the shower for like 5 to 10 minutes. No problem.
I can't do it.
Yeah. Dude, I can just walk into a cold shower now and it's like, yeah, it's cold, but I don't shiver or anything. I just kind of go like, wow, yeah, it's kind of bracing. And then about 30 seconds in, you're like, hey, not bad. No big deal. It's crazy. It's the weirdest feeling. You walk out of there, your skin's just all red because all the blood's flushing to your it's awesome. It wakes you up. I tell you what, you don't need no coffee in the morning. But so anyway, so this breathing technique, and I started. Then I went ahead and purchased his course. He had a good sale on it, like his online course. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this a little bit more intensively. And I read his book. I'm going to do this a little bit more intensively and see what happens with it. Because he's talking about do this for 2 weeks. You'll notice a life-changing, situation, because this breathing is supposed to help you release DMT naturally from your pineal gland. But this whole oxygen thing, he's like, you want to, you oxygenate your blood. It helps lower the pH balance of your blood. It brings more alkalinity to your blood. It helps, the whole bunch of things. I don't want to get too much into it. You can look up Wim Hof, people, if they're interested. But anyway, so about a week into it, I'm doing this deep breathing. And one morning I have an orgasm again, just like I'd had before. But no one was giving me a massage, nor was I touching myself in any way. I was just breathing.
So you're sitting there eating cereal and going, oh, fuck. Oh,
no.
Fuck.
No. That's kind of funny. We'll touch upon that later. But so, no, I was laying in bed because I do the breathing exercises in bed before I get out of bed. So as soon as I wake up in the morning, I kind of wake up a couple minutes and I do my breathing exercises. I get up and I take a shower, and then I take my cold shower at the end, and then everything else from there. Right. So I'm like, okay. And then, so the next 2 rounds of breathing I had again. So I had like 3 orgasms one morning, and I was like, wow, that's a good way the best part of waking up isn't Folgers anymore, baby. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay. So that happened a few times, and I'm like, all right. And then some days I wouldn't have any at all. I just do my breathing. No big deal. Nothing came up. I wasn't really trying too hard. And so then it was I think it was actually Thursday, not Friday, that this happened. So Thursday of last week, I'm doing my breathing. Second round, I had several orgasms. I mean, like not just one, but several. I was like, okay, that's pretty intense. All right. So I did my next round of breathing, and I had more. And I'm just like, okay, this is getting a little bit much, and then I did my next round of breathing, and I had more. I felt like, I don't know what happened or what I broke through, but I couldn't stop having them. I would take like 3 or 4 breaths, and then I'd have another one. And I'd try to take 2 or 3 breaths, trying to catch my breath, and I'd have another one. And I'm just like, so that's what it's like to like you've heard people being afflicted by this stuff, like they have like a medical condition where they can't stop orgasming. That's kind of what it was like. It wasn't quite that bad, but I spent nearly an hour in bed just having energy orgasm after energy orgasm. And I tried to keep track, but I lost track over 40. It was just that many. And I'm just like, I could just feel the energy moving all over my body. And it was just like literally toying with me, like, oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one, and sometimes they were more intense. Sometimes they were less intense. And I'm just in here, it was the craziest morning I've ever had in my life. And it just didn't stop. And I'm like, fuck, I got to go to work, and it's like, it was like 8:30, and this had started like around 7:40. Right. And I'm like, okay. And I had to consciously not think about it, because literally if I thought about it for a second, I would have one. And I had to literally think about anything else I could think of to keep from having another one. So I got up. I'm like, okay, I think I'm all right. I go in there. I have 2 more while I'm in the shower, 3 more while I'm trying to brush my teeth, 2 more while I'm driving to work.
It just comes off the gas. It's just twitching. You're slowing down, then you speed up.
It made driving interesting. I had to really concentrate. And then I had them off and on, like pretty much the rest of the day. Like
stand beside the coffee machine, just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. It kind of eased up, I think, probably around like noon or 1 o'clock. It finally had stopped happening. But even then, later in the day, if I thought about it just a little bit too much, one could occur. And I don't know what to say about that, other than the fact that is like the wildest morning I have ever had. And it was awesome.
So what are you going to do with this newfound breakthrough?
I'm not sure yet. You know, there's this thing that's called Kundalini energy. Now, I'm not going to be a person that pretends I understand this, because I don't. I don't know enough about it. But basically, it's like when you have some kind of breakthrough, especially around your sexual energy. And maybe that's what occurred with me. I don't know if it did. I don't know enough about it. It's something that I've got to research more. But let's just say I'm going to keep working on these techniques and see what's capable of. What I'm hoping is that as this occurs, and I can consciously feel this energy even more strongly in my body, that I'll be able to control it more. Because a lot of the work that they want us to do with the sexual energy is what they call transmutation. And with transmutation, it means converting that sexual energy as you move it through your body and up your chakras, up to your crown chakra and out, is that you purify the energy as you send it back to source, as they kind of situation. At least that's the way I kind of interpret it. And basically, it's like you're bringing this energy up, through your body, possibly from the earth up through your body. Sometimes that's the way I feel, and then out through your out to the universe. And the other thing that I'm hoping is that as I can control this energy and I can bring it up stronger in myself, that when I'm giving a massage to someone else, I will be able to push my energy through them better to help move their energy and to give them more of an experience when I'm working with them, to help clear their blockages and to help them be able to release their own pleasure potential.
You get enough people in that room, you could be like the Oprah, like, you get an orgasm, you get an orgasm, you get an orgasm.
I don't even have to pay for a car that way. and if it's possible, I mean, I do believe it's possible. My teacher has demonstrated it before, that you can just literally not touch a person with massage, but literally just work on the energy body that surrounds their body, because there's different energy levels that surround your body, and from just barely above the surface of your skin to a centimeter above your skin. So like you're surrounded by these different energy bodies that are, because the body is an energetic being.
Yeah.
I mean, we're this biochemical mass, and you generate electricity in your body because your electrons spin around your cell. And that's what generates the electricity in your body when you have, your synapses are electrical signals. So the body is a battery. Hell, look at the Matrix movie. What were they using for batteries? People.
Yep.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's not like it's some kind of weird out there theory. I mean, hell, we can get electricity out of a potato if you know how to do it, right? You ever seen those?
We did that in science class with kids.
Yeah, so anything that's living or alive has some kind of energy or some kind of electrical balance. So I'm hoping that this is a breakthrough that helps me move further along my path, and that at some point I will be able to work with someone and just be able to work in their energy fields and bring their energy up and help them. They can have an orgasmic type of experience just by me manipulating their energy fields and not touching them physically at all. And I used to say, I'd see stuff like that and I'd say, not possible. But at this point, well, even though it hasn't happened for me yet, I totally believe it's possible. And so if you're a listener and you're listening to this and you think, this guy is full of crap, I am not full of crap. I mean, I could lie about a lot of things. This is 100% true.
Like, why would you? Out of all the things you could lie about, you just wake up. We're gonna lie about hands-free, energy-only orgasms. With no ejaculation. That's what I'm gonna lie about today.
Well, hey, you can't say I have a good imagination if you did. If that was the way, it'd be more interesting if I was like 6 when I did it. But so
that's the kid you want teaching your class, though.
Well, it's better than the teachers that are not teaching the classes sometimes right now, right?
Oh, fuck.
But anyway, so that was the long story. It involved why I wanted to talk about my past week was because of that experience that I had this week and what led up to my ability to have that happen for me. So all I can say is this. If this sounds intriguing to you, look into Mantak Chia, Mantak, last name Chia. He does, that's who I found out later was the one who had originally talked about this big draw. And so that's who I think my teacher learned from. And he's got several books and video courses about, he's got a book called The Multi-Orgasmic Male. He's got one called The Multi-Orgasmic Female. He teaches different levels of Tai Chi. And something I just found out, and this is, I'm going to start looking into doing possibly more Tai Chi, is that I didn't understand this, that when you see all kinds of videos of people, like, you see like a whole bunch of people in the park doing Tai Chi, right?
Yep.
They're doing like the exercise, right? Well, apparently you can boost. This helps to boost your chi. I did not realize that. I was like, okay, well, it's exercise and you're moving chi. I didn't realize it was also part of the technique is to increase the amount of chi in your body. And of course, with the whole teaching of non-ejaculatory orgasms, you don't lose the energy, because a lot of people believe that if you have an orgasm and you ejaculate, you're shooting out life force. Your energy is leaving your body. That's why.
Well, it would explain the rolling over, going to sleep.
Exactly, because you literally just lost this percentage of your life force when you did that, and so that's why they practice, or they practice non-ejaculatory sex, because you can go for longer periods of time and you can just continue to have this energy orgasm, and then if you're really in tune with your partner, you can receive the energy from her when she has an orgasm, and then you can circle it back like a big circle of the energy going back and forth between you, and it brings the orgasm to like a super high experience. Now, I haven't experienced this yet because I don't have a partner, but but I'm anxious to try it, and so that's something that's very interesting to me to learn and to become good at. And so the Tai Chi, if you're not having ejaculations, you're not losing your energy. That's the other thing that was great about what happened with these energy orgasms. My energy level that day was unbelievable, because all I did every time I did this is I just built my energy to higher and higher levels, because I never lost it. It was all in my body. It was just like this amp goes to 10. Well, this one goes to 11. That's how I felt. My day was like an 11,
Just throw out all the coffee cups, throw out all the coffee. Charlie Ray has a new routine.
That's right. Charlie Ray's got a new routine. I didn't want to have any more after that day for a little while, because I was so sore that my abdomen and sides hurt for like 2 days because of all the contractions from that many orgasms. You think ab crunches are hard. This is more. This is more. Yeah, it was. It's definitely something that I want to continue to explore. So I'm going to continue working to learn more about the energy. I'm definitely going to start looking into more. Instead, I want to read some of more of Mantak Chia's books and some of his Tai Chi courses. And work on that. I don't know, man. The sky is the limit. I want to see how much I can learn to master my own body, and I want to learn how much pleasure is humanly possible.
Well, I guess I'm here for the ride, so I'm all ears.
There you go. So that's pretty much my story. But yeah, those are some things to look into. Look into multi-orgasmic man. If you're a woman, multi-orgasmic woman. Look up the tech, big draw as an actual word. You'll find videos on that on YouTube. There's courses you can get on this stuff, and just look into the whole world of, and see if it's what interests you in tantra massage. Look for a teacher that you resonate with. Some teachers can be better than others. Some have more of a sexual focus. Some have more of a esoteric and energy and spiritual focus. And it's just kind of what really resonates with you as a person, what you're looking for. So that's about it.
So quick recap. What are we talking here?
What are we talking about? What?
No ejaculate orgasms.
Right.
Massages from multiple people at the same time.
Yeah. Or one. I mean, one's good. 2 to 3 is better.
Rooms full of people all orgasming at the same time.
Which is amazing to hear and see.
And for some reason, all this stuff can only be found in Europe.
Yes, because America, despite the fact that we use sex for everything, is afraid to actually talk about it in a grown-up way.
So fucked up.
It is. We'll talk about every kind of casual sexual stuff there is, but if you talk about something really, it's hard to find anybody who talks about any of this stuff down here in America. It's very underground, really. I think it's just because it takes more work. I mean, this is not a path. You don't just wake up one day, do a few breathing exercises, and bam, you have them. I mean, I suppose you can. Somebody might be like naturally born with it and gifted, but it might just happen that fast. But let's just put it this way. If you told me 10 years ago, dude, you can do this breathing work for about 10 minutes and you'll have multiple orgasms that are going to feel amazing and you're not going to ejaculate, I'd be like, I don't know what you're smoking, but you better sell me some, because that's not possible, but it is. but it is.
I have no choice but to believe you, and I'm glad that I do. As long as you don't make,
I'm having one right now.
As long as you don't make it a bouquet out of my testicles, I think we're good.
It's surprisingly not that bad.
Nope, pass.
I won't even describe the other techniques.
No, I had enough sitting there eating spaghetti and listening to you guys talk about testicles and pulling skin. I'm like, I'm done. Like I don't know what you guys are learning there, but like, good for you, I guess.
The pulling and tapping technique.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good times.
It's almost like if you're not going to put a mouth on it, please just don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Oh, you're going to put your mouth on it? Yeah, you can touch it.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, good times, good stories, man. It's been an interesting ride the last 4 or 5 years of my life, that's for sure. So
well, it's good, man. It's always more exciting than boredom, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could still have this life and not have multiple orgasms. So, I mean, I'll take the multiple orgasms part. It kind of puts the frosting on the donut. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. No, it's the story is always better than the not story.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, listeners.
Yep. That's a good way to. I say it's a good way to end this episode. The story of Charlie Ray. Charlie Ray talks about Charlie Ray in the third person. Charlie Ray's orgasmic experience. It's like the reading rainbow for adults.
I'm just picturing our 3 listeners all online checking up like, wait, tantric, massage. Wait a minute, no, bouquet, testicles. No. Wait, was it the rappening, the awakening? What was the breathing thing? The sucking? What did he call it?
The big draw.
The big draw. So they're Googling that. They're just frantically looking up like, can a man orgasm 8 times in an hour? Can a man orgasm without ejaculating? They probably got a really, really, really weird Google search right now. If they're at work, their boss is like, hey, we're looking through your Google search. What's the testicle bouquet? I'm kind of concerned about your well-being.
Yes, yeah. The bouquet. The bouquet.
So, man, thanks for stopping by again. This is awesome.
All right. Yeah. Always a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Clay.
Always a pleasure hearing the stories. Love it.
All right. Well, everybody stay tuned for another episode next week. We'll have another bamboozling fun one.
Peace out.
Peace.